So how was DC? That's the question I've been asked the most since I've gotten back from the Million Man March. And to sum it up, to answer your question, how was attending one of the most powerful events any young black man could ever attend? Absolutely incredible, unforgettable, amazing, inspiring, to say the least. So I land into DC to Reagan National Airport um, late that night. Um, Come to find out, my rental car reservation got canceled, all that. So I ended up having to catch an Uber to the hotel. So get to the hotel, unpack, make sure all my stuff is charged up, and wake up the next morning ready to go to the march. And as I'm heading down to the station, all I see is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black faces. Just nothing but black people getting onto the train. And the one question that you asked was, are you headed to the march? Everyone I asked said yes. So we get off the train, and all you see, again, are beautiful black faces walking through. You see people who can barely walk, 3 years old, 2 years old, barely walking, to people that are in their 80s coming out for this march, for the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. And you're walking down the National Mall, and you get this feeling of euphoria. Like, wow, all these people came together for this one event. All these people came together to answer the call of justice or else. That's power. It's difficult enough to get people to sit down at their TV and all turn their TV on to watch the same channel, let alone have over 1 million people come out to DC, spend their time, spend their money to get out to DC to come here. Not only the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but Dr. Melina Abdullah, uh, Reverend Jamal Bryant, to come and hear them speak on justice or else. As a young black man, justice or else means to me the demand on the government and also the acceptance of the responsibility of myself as a black man in doing what needs to be done in order so that I can get justice. Justice isn't an ideal that was made by man. Justice is God-given. So for me to demand justice from my government is only to recognize that I'm asking you for something that is being denied, that you're denying me of. That's God-given. The or else means if you refuse to give me what it is that's been God-given, then there's something that I need to do. Because obviously, your behavior is not going to change. So I need to change up some things that I'm doing. We got a glimpse of what that or else was. Ferguson, Baltimore, Oakland, New York. Economic pain, structural pain. Those are the kind of or else's that have forced the conversation. When I think of or else, I think of all of those things encompassed: legal action, protest, direct action, things that purposefully are used to bring about the result that I want to see. I was inspired by the message of many of the speakers, but I couldn't help but think about how many people would be wrapped up in the moment and not live for the movement. There's a lot of things that we could do individually that would bring about that or else. There was no media coverage by BET, VH1, or any of the major news networks. Okay, not a problem. But Ferguson and Baltimore and New York received 24/7 news coverage. And now you have over 1 million black people joining up for another singular purpose, and it gets absolutely no coverage outside of the ever-watching eye of C-SPAN. No problem. I don't have to watch BET anymore. I don't have to watch VH1 anymore. I don't have to watch any of those networks anymore. Especially when they portray my people in a light that's very unfavorable. And mind you, that message, those images, are images that are broadcasted all around the world. And yet, here you have the opportunity to broadcast another positive image, not just a positive image, but another positive image to the world, and you refuse to do that. I don't expect justice from people who have had a history of denying my ancestors and my people justice. I don't expect it. What I do expect is for my people to wake up and understand that there is something that we need to do. Not something that we can do, but there are things that we need to do. It starts with building ourselves up economically by recognizing that not only black lives matter, but black dollars matter. Black energy matters. Black time matters. And when you spend your time, energy, and money on pursuits that build you, that further your interests, you have no choice but to become powerful. We saw how powerful and how scary it was for over 1 million black men to show up back in 1995 for the original Million Man March. And now 20 years later, you have the same thing, except now it's not just men, it's men, women, and children coming out for the same purpose. We don't have to keep marching. The march is to show that all of us could get on the same page. Now that we see that we are on the same page, let's start flipping pages in the book. And the next page in the book is economic wealth, health, and education. Without those three, we'll never get anywhere. Only after we have those three should we focus on political power. Because what we've seen is there are plenty of people that look like us that don't have our interests in mind. So when we become powerful enough to buy our politicians and to select the people that are going to further our interests, our focus needs to make sure that we have enough money to fund those kind of candidates and put the people that we want to put in place. So in closing, I'm extremely happy that I was able to participate in it. One of my classmates said that it looked like I was glowing. I am. I'm invigorated. I'm impassioned. I'm empowered. And I believe every young black king and queen should feel empowered. Thank you.